Yeah. Sabo Forte. DJ Grimrock. Yeah. Beat produced by Fresh Kills. Lemon sun blazing hard, leave me where I sit, sipping on lemonade, chewing on a matchstick, wondering where everyone I love is, feeling guilty for my lockdown brethren, shackled in chains, unable to find outlets, happy when it rains, cause everybody else is untrained brain, just another form of prison, the knowledge you retain, your unborn visions, know the ledge, no suicide missions, take pride in penmanship, not the sword given, I won't kick them if they down, so Lord forgive them, keep your light shining strong, shadows hidden. Anyhow, get down with the what now. Know what I'm doing is crazy. Can't handle it, it's amazing. Understand this, avoid blandness. Method to the madness, art, the happiness. Shield disregard for visible tricks. I'm looking out for lovers, not the opportunist. Blundering magicians, cutting up kids. Talking about new emotion, tell it like it is. Life's a river floater where ocean begins. Connect social circles like Olympic rings. The new future is fast approaching. Catch the wind whispering, sweet nothing. Watch for the wolves, sheep's harvesting. Under cover of war, beasts are resting. Survival of the fittest leaves no room for questioning. Honestly, the best king needs no protecting. Anyhow, get down with the what now. Anyhow, get down with the what now. Know what I'm doing is crazy. Can't handle it, it's amazing. Understand it, avoid blandness. Method to the madness, art, a happiness. Know what I'm doing is crazy. Can't handle it, it's amazing. Understand this, avoid blandness. Method to the madness, art, a happiness.
Sing Talk Play live sessions at CJSW Radio. You might be watching this on Telus Optic Local on Demand or on the web. In this episode, we're featuring Calgary's own Sabo Forte.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Chilling, man. Thanks for the opportunity. Happy to be down here.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, of course. First song I did is called The What Now. It's produced by Fresh Kills in Toronto from the Extremities crew and Backburner crew. He's got a studio out there called Fresh Kills. He's constantly touring. I met him here in a Calgary stop through a good friend of mine, DJ Cosm, introduced the two of us, and just hit it off and exchanged some beats, and now we're working on a new full-length project to come out later this year.
Amazing.
Pretty excited about it, yeah.
Amazing. So when are you hoping that's going to come out?
Hopefully late May, June, that sort of thing. You know, it's always hard to tell with, you don't want to pressure people with mixing and mastering. You know, people work at their own pace. So, I mean, that's kind of the goal, though. Still got to record a few tracks off the album, but hopefully summertime.
You didn't start off in the hip-hop community, per se. You did a lot of other things. Let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, I'm originally a small-town Alberta boy. I grew up in Devon, Alberta. It's like 4,000 people. And, you know, much like Board Junior High and high school students, a lot of time was spent at house parties, you know, at the lake, campfires, that kind of thing. Just, you know, playing music, freestyling with friends in the car, around the fire, just having fun time with it. You know, always been open-minded to all types of music, folk, rock, rap, hip-hop, like even jazz. And in high school, I got into punk rock music a little bit, still love the punk rock music, always listening to hip-hop. I think one of the first like live stage experiences with rap music was when we used to play in punk bands. If anyone broke a string, I would freestyle and the drummer would drum while they fixed the string, and people started gravitating towards that, like saying that they wanted to buy my hip hop CD, and I didn't even have hip hop CDs. It was just, you know, just a fan of the Beastie Boys and the, you know, punk rock crossovers. You know, like I try to keep my rock and my rap separate, though, for sure. I'm not a huge fan of when they come together. It really has to be done well, and I think only a few people have done it well. Judgment Night soundtrack, Rage Against the Machine, they did it pretty good.
Nice. Well, you can even though you keep it quite separate, you can hear some of the punk influences in your flow. Sometimes you get loud and it really suits the songs, and it feels like it comes from a punk place.
Well, definitely. I want to be like true with it and true to myself. Like I'm not trying to mimic anybody else or just, I don't really think about trying to create a hip hop song or create a rock song. I just listen to the music, the beat that's sent to me, and I just try to think of the best melody or chord progression or whatever that's going to fit and make that song and not break that song. So yeah, definitely sometimes in the choruses or whatnot, or even in the flow, I'll have a bit of a punk rock tone or pitch to my voice.
Your rhymes and your verses are very intricate and seem quite complex. I can't even think that fast, let alone speak that fast. But you come from another community as well. You've got your feet well established and planted in the slam poetry community. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, you've done a lot. You've represented Calgary in things for slam poetry. How does that combine with what you're doing now as Sabo Forte?
Well, I mean, when I was coming up, high school, just to date myself, this would be early 90s, it's kind of known as the golden era of hip-hop and a lot more placement on lyricism and things like that. So I find modern hip-hop not so much, it isn't really that complex in the lyricism and the lyrics of the song. And like I said before, with my punk rock background, always been drawn to a good protest song, and punk rock lyrics, they always kind of have a message to it. They make you think about something. So it was kind of like half trying to, learn from golden era MCs like Guru from Gangstar. Who, when he raps, he says that he raps like a trumpet solo from the jazz from the 50s. You know what I mean? That's what he actually thinks about when he's rapping. So you take something like that and a little of the, punk rock sensibilities, bring it all together, and yeah, that's kind of what came up with it. Lost it a little bit, but
that's great. That's good. You didn't answer my question at all.
I didn't.
I asked you about slam poetry, all right?
I totally got sidetracked. Sorry. That's where I was going with that. So, yeah. So, I got drawn into it because I wanted to improve my writing, my actual lyrics. That's why I got drawn into it. So, when I was first introduced with, like, Saul Williams, it's probably one of the first slam poets, or Canadian guys like Shane Koizan. And so, yeah, I did start competing in slam poetry, doing open mics. I went to the individual World Poetry Slam. I was one of only like 5 Canadians out of like 72 competitors. I represented Calgary 3 times at the Slam Poetry Nationals. I don't compete anymore with slam poetry. I still do teach spoken word for after-school programs at like the Beltline Y and Hall Services and with Global Fest and that sort of thing. But that was my initial draw to it, was just focus on the words, really, and just improve your lyricism.
That's great. That Saul Williams movie Slam back in the day, I remember there's that scene where he's being approached in the yard in prison, and he's got to make a quick decision or some bad things might happen, and he breaks into verse.
Yeah. And
I remember that just like sent shivers down my back. So it's a powerful medium for sure. Let's talk about this second track. The second track you're about to perform is off of an album that is out now and is available now. And you worked with a producer who was Calgary based but is now in New York City, Hassam Mayam.
Yeah, Hassam Mayam. He's part of the original Rude's breakdance crew here in Calgary, and he was starting to produce music as a bit of a hobby, and I heard some of his first initial tracks, and he was a natural at it. So he called me up and said that he wanted to do a full album with me, and which is kind of what you want, right? When another respected artist calls you up and they're humble enough to reach out to you. So I was totally honored. So yeah, he gave me 15 songs and focused on that for like 6 months. Went out to Nelson and recorded that like in a cabin in the woods, basically, for 5 days, and I was so happy with that disc. It's called Prime Watson, and yeah, that song's the last song on our album. It's called Thunderclap, and yeah, it's just kind of a commentary on like the local hip hop scene. Really, I think a lot of modern hip hop, they don't focus on the elements as much anymore. So that song was just because breakdancer produced it, MC, spoken word artist. We just talked a lot about like, graffiti in the lyrics, as well as producers and dancers, all that sort of thing.
Thunderclap. Hold up. Smash any recollection of what you used to. This is some of that new fusion, old school. Smack like your daddy scolds you. Do what you like, shock G holds true. I'm on the map, my story unfolds too. Get off your hit the road, fool. This ain't for the weak or hard to homeschool. We elemental, instrumental to the golden rule. We have no patience for haters to save the feedback for later. We're taking nations, naming names, one station by station. As a matter of fact, we're a matter of funk. So drop heavy in the floor, drop heavy in your trunk. But don't believe the hype, man. Don't listen to DJs that don't dance to their own jam. Don't follow the writer that tags and bombs. When the writer don't read any writings but his own. Don't rely on curators to cure you, producers to come through, promoters to know tunes, so true. The talent bound by industry rules, where big fish eat through, even the toughest crew. Please keep rocking the rhythms within you, soul clap the cue, keep doing what you do, breaking down dire distress with each new move. Hate is a cancer most home crowd heals too. I said hate is the cancer most home crowd heals too. I beat Smith with the Thunderclap, how's that? Blow thunder like an Aussie rap, down pat. Up the volume with the boom pop, ruin that. Soon the crew is calling out, yo, who's that? We making waves and break original mold. So make way as we take stranglehold. I got mine, but now I want yours. No better time to beat down bolted doors. Feel it or not, fearing the cause we won't be stopped. Dealing with us on any block we like to dump. Shooting the stars, clear the dust, make room for us. Going for ours, Ferrari cars ridiculous. No matter the follow, we're on for tomorrow. No matter they want us, we'll have to follow our inner visions. At least till we go on about the way we wandered onto our final ride. This ain't no cakewalk, so please tread carefully. Coin tell bro, don't tell me to go happily. I dig a new tree, darling, come dance with me. I'm rascally, half man, half mystery. We rap the weed, already come talk to me. I know the legend live in its proximity. So let's hang glide into our dynasty and take a minute to figure out destiny. Beat Smith with the Thunderclap, how's that? Blow thunder like an Aussie rap, down pat. Up the volume with the boom pop, ruin that. Soon the crew is calling out, yo, who's that? We making waves and break original mold. So make way as we take stranglehold. I got mine, but now I want yours. No better time to beat down both the doors. Feel it or not, fearing the cause we won't be stopped. Dealing with us on any block we're locked it up. Shooting the stars, clear the dust, make room for us. Going for ours, Ferrari cars ridiculous. No matter the fallout, we're on for tomorrow. No matter they want us, we'll have to follow our inner visions. At least so we go on about the way we wandered onto our final round.
Yeah. Woo! Nice, bruv.